All right, everyone. Well, welcome to another video on how to solve quadratic equations. We made it to the top of the old mountain, level 6. After this, you'll be able to solve any quadratic equation you want using the Quadrus method, the power and beauty of symmetry and squares, all right? So let's go get this. Let's first ask ourselves what might make this a level 6. Well, that last complication is the lead term. Notice the lead term is not a perfect square. I can't model this with my beautiful integer side lengths. So we gotta first, before we start some of our earlier methods, is we want to make that lead term a perfect square. Well, you make any number a perfect square by multiplying it by itself. So let's multiply everything by 3. And we'll get 9x squared minus 15x minus 120 is equal to 30. All right, beautiful. Now, middle term, that's odd. You know, we need the middle term even. And so just like a level 5, we're going to approach it the same way, where we'll make the middle term even by multiplying by 4. I put the x there and I switched where the x went. How about that? All right, multiply everything by 4. And you might be thinking to yourself right now, Mr. Miller, ain't that going to make the numbers like really big, really large? Yes. Yeah, it is. I mean, sometimes we're going to get larger numbers using this strategy, but it doesn't matter. It's going to work out beautifully. It's going to still be a perfect square. So don't worry about that. And another thing that's worth noting is the power of the number 4 is that if you multiply a perfect square by 4, you get another perfect square every single time. Like, for instance, take 4 times 25. Another perfect square. 4 times 9. Another perfect square. And it really makes sense because if something is a square and you multiply it by 4, you're just making a bigger square. So little hats off to the number 4 here. And let's see what we're working with. 36x squared minus 60x minus 480 is equal to 120. All right, excellent job. We're ready to go now. Let's build the square and see what we're working with. So let's start with our 36x squared. So let's go 36x squared. It's going to be 6x times 6x. Brilliant. We got the minus 60. Let's split it. Put minus 30 there, minus 30 down here. Lovely. We got this missing dimension, so that's going to be minus 5 to get to our minus 30. And we finish the square here. Excellent. All right. Well, let's look at what we've got. We want to use this square, so we'll just make it work. We have minus 480. Well, we want it to be plus 25. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to add 505 because that's going to get us to 25. Now, whatever we do to one side, we got to do to the other side. You know that. You know how we roll. And so what do we got? Let's see. We have 36x squared minus 60x plus 25 is equal to 625. Really brilliant work. So now this is a perfect square trinomial. So now it comes all the way back around to a level 2 problem. Minus 5 squared is equal to 625. Lovely, lovely. And 625, I believe, is 25 times 25. Yep. So that means 6x minus 5 has to be equal to plus or minus 25. Because the square root of 625 is 25. Now let's set up our last couple equations and get this thing rolling here. So let's do this. Let's go 6x minus 5 is equal to positive 25. So we'll subtract 5. Well, no, we'll add 5, so that'll get us to 30. And we'll divide by 6. So we'll get 30 divided by 6. All right, excellent. And then we'll do 6x minus 5 is equal to negative 25. So 6x is equal to negative 20. If you add 5, and so you get x is equal to negative 20 divided by 6. And that's it. That's it. That's a level 6 problem. All you need to know. We'll be able to get all problems at this point. I guess I should maybe simplify this to what, 15? Oh, well, I missed it, right? 30 divided by 6. That's 5. So always simplify your fractions. I didn't even notice that when I was first doing it. So let's simplify this one. So what do we get? Divide them by 2. That's normally what I like to do. So minus 10 over 3. All right. Excellent work. But we need to try one more. So let me get that written up for you right quick. All right. Woo. That was quick. All right. So let's go. Level 6. You hit pause. And you get started. And let's go over this one. All right, so once again, as we approach this quadratic, we say to ourselves, well, that's not a perfect square, so let's get this party started. Now let's multiply everything by 5. And I used pink last time, I'm going to use pink again. So let's multiply everything over here by 5 and everything on that side by 5. So we get 25x squared minus 35x plus 10. Ooh, is equal to 45. All right, well, let's keep it up. 35, we know next step. Multiply everything by 4. That's it. Multiply everything by 4. No problem. Again, the numbers might start to get larger, but that's actually okay for us. 100x squared. 35 times 4 gives us 140. Oh man, and a little bit of sunlight coming out right now. That's beautiful. Oh my God, that's beautiful. All right, gives us 180. Gorgeous. All right, so we're ready to try to build our square. We've got a perfect square. We've got an even number. We are cash money. Let's go. Let's put it right here. So we've got the 100. That is not such a good square. I want to make it look a little bit more square. All right, so we have 100x squared. We know that's going to be 10x and 10x. All right, so we are minus 140. So let's break it into minus 70 and minus 70. So minus 7. Excellent. And then we've got our final area here at positive 49. All right, well, we need this whole thing to come together. Not to worry. Let's just do a plus 9 and a plus 9. That's going to get us the 49 that we want. 100x squared minus 140x plus 49 is equal to 189. So lovely. I knew it was going to work out beautiful. It's kind of what's wonderful about these problems. You get it here and you're like, there's no way I'm going to make a square out of this. Oh yeah? Well, multiply the first one by itself, then multiply it by 4, build it, see what you need, and just simply add that value to both sides. Always getting a square. Wow. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. You can't beat that. You can't beat that. Can't beat that. 10x minus 7 squared is equal to 189. So we get 10x minus 7 is equal to plus or minus the square root of 189. Something squared is 189 all the way down to a level 2. We know what we're doing in level 2. We just know what we're doing. So let's add 7 and then divide by 10. So I'm going to start it right up here. So what we'll do is we'll add 7. So we'll go plus or minus the square root of 189 plus 7 divided by 2. So well, divided by 10. I don't know why I started saying 2. Divided by 10. All right, excellent. We would be completely finished, but I'm pretty sure, I think we can simplify 189. I have a sense. Let's see, 189. Sometimes what I'll do is I'll just divide it by perfect squares. See, I divided it by 9 and it worked. So what that means is that this is plus or minus 9 times 21. That 189 is 9 times 21. And then so you finish that as plus or minus 3 all over 10. And for people throwing down the quadratic formula, right? If your friends are dropping the quadratic formula, they probably have these two values switched around, right? So they have 7 plus or minus. It's all good. All good. Either one works for me. All right. Well, that's level 6, everyone. Keep doing your best, okay? Hopefully that made some sense to you. Backyard math, getting it done, I suppose. I hope this finds you well, and we're off.